MGF Custom / Reviews.
What's going on, guys? It's Michael MGF, and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars 2012 Summer Set Review. This time I have the Gungan sub. The set number is 9499. It is ages 8 through 14, and it has 465 pieces. So this set is so very awesome because you get all kinds of blue pieces that can come in handy for all kinds of different mocks. I just think that this set comes with a great variety of pieces, and it comes with 4 awesome minifigures, including the long-awaited and well-procrastinated figure by LEGO, Queen Amidala herself from The Phantom Menace. And this set is a reasonable size, and what's really awesome that I personally like about this set, since my room is messy enough as it is and I don't need extra pieces lying around, is that you can store the Jedi lightsabers and robes inside the 2 back cockpits, which is awesome and definitely very convenient. So without further ado, let's get on to the minifigures of this awesome set. So here we have him, Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn in his little plastic form. This figure is definitely awesome. He reuses the exact same hair that LEGO has always used on their Qui-Gon minifigures, but the beard on his face, which we saw in the Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator, I believe, is that Qui-Gon Jinn had a lighter beard color for the face. But what's really awesome about this face is now he features a double-sided face for the Gungan sub, and as you can see on that face he features his A99 Aquatica breather to breathe underwater when going into the hidden city of Jar Jar's home. I forgot the name of that city. But anyway, you can see it has a really good amount of detail on it, and it's just a very cool little touch that LEGO added to it. I definitely think it's very cool. But what I'm not a big fan of the new Jedi robe effect is, as you can see, the skin tone is like orange. I'm not sure if that's part of his robe, but it certainly looks like skin tone, because in all the past Jedi torsos, that was always skin tone. So I really can't look at this and not think that that's skin tone, because it's just weird. And LEGO, they have failed to fix this since the Sith Infiltrator and the newer Pod Racer set. I hope they fix it, because it's definitely a little weird. But other than that, the torso printing is very awesome, and he does feature brown legs. For me, brown legs have been harder and harder to come across, but they do show up with Qui-Gon every time. And he does feature back printing. So there is a look at his back printing. You go ahead and pull his hairpiece off. He's looking at you from the back of his head. That's MLG. But anyway, you can see the back printing is very awesome. His belt back here does feature 3 pouches, which is also very awesome. And yeah, so that is it for the Gungan Sub Edition Qui-Gon Jinn minifigure. And here we have a new Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan in the Phantom Menace. And there is a hair on his lightsaber, but as you can see, now that we're talking about lightsabers, he does feature a standard blue lightsaber with the chrome hilt. But anyway, what LEGO did now with this Obi-Wan, which they haven't done ever with a Phantom Menace Obi-Wan minifigure, is make his hair orange. This is the same hair piece that we saw used with Obi-Wan before the newer set with him in it, which was like Anakin's Sith Interceptor or something. But now this Phantom Menace Obi-Wan does feature an orange hairpiece. Preferably, I would have preferred it to be brown, but they have changed it to orange. But I have plenty of brown hairpieces, so this really is not an issue to me. But anyway, as you can see, his torso printing is pretty awesome. It does feature the same skin tone error, but it's not as extreme as Qui-Gon's. It's a little lighter, but the torso printing is very awesome. The belt is very detailed, and his Padawan braid printed on is very awesome as well. And he does also feature back printing, as my little pillar falls apart. Okay, moving on. As you can see, there's a look at his back printing. Pretty simple, has a nice pouch on it, and very detailed and looks awesome. So anyway, there is the new Phantom Menace Obi-Wan. Gotta love me and my mistakes, because that is not it. Obi-Wan does also feature his A99 aquatic breather. He's got to breathe underwater too, so sorry I left that out, but there it is. It looks very detailed as well, but it's pretty much the same exact design as Qui-Gon's. And now we have Natalie Portman as Queen Amidala. I think I'm going to stop listing the actors' names because it's starting to get awkward, but anyway, you can see this is a very long-anticipated minifigure. I mean, LEGO fans have ached for a Queen Amidala ever since The Phantom Menace came out and LEGO started releasing Phantom Menace sets, because LEGO never made a Queen Amidala figure like this until now. And definitely it was worth the wait, because this figure is awesome. It features quite an intense level of printing and an intense level of detail, along with 2 brand new sculpts, and it's definitely an awesome minifigure. As you can see, her headpiece is entirely new. It is a rubbery type piece, and it features all kinds of printing. You have red striping here, a nice piece going down, nice little section going down here, and you can see her hair, fake hair back here. At least I believe it's fake, because believe it or not, you'll see in the Clone Wars TV show that Padme pulls some hair pieces off and on, which is a little odd, but you probably wouldn't understand what I'm saying until you actually see it. But anyway, you can see the hair piece is very awesome, very nicely detailed, and it features an extensive amount of printing, which I really appreciate from LEGO. And then you can see her white headpiece is very simple. It is white to basically represent the white makeup she has, and it has the 2 little red dots along with basically every detail needed to represent Queen Amidala's face. And let me give you a better look at her torso printing. So as you can see there, it is really immensely detailed, and I think it looks very awesome. Quite a really nice level of design added to this figure, and definitely a great minifigure. And as you can see, it continues onto the back a little bit there. And let me give you a look at how her dress piece attaches. Let me go ahead and put this back on so I can put her to the side. Her second half, she's now been Darth Maulified. But as you can see, there is a really good amount of printing on this as well. You have a brown band that wraps all the way around it, and you have the detail extending down here as well. And you can see the orange and brown printed on all of those little circular type, I don't know what you'd call them, but they're the little things that wrap around her dress. And it's definitely very awesome, and it makes her quite a big piece, actually. But who cares, because it has made the perfect Queen Amidala figure, and boy, I am just having the worst of luck getting these figures to stand on my little base here. But anyway, there's the awesome Queen Amidala minifigure. So now we have the Jar Jar minifig that comes with this set, and this is not a new minifig as he was introduced in the Battle of Naboo set. He does utilize the same exact headpiece that they have always used for Jar Jar, but this Jar Jar is known to have a much better amount of printing, as for his eyes are printed, and all of his detail to represent his skin colors going all the way down. His little Jar Jar Jarian flaps. Yes, I just called them Jar Jar Jarian flaps because I am amazing. But yeah, that is a new word that I developed, and you are free to use it. But as you can see, his torso is pretty nicely detailed, and he features dark bluish gray legs. I myself have been pretty short on these, so well, these will probably go into a custom. But anyway, as you can see, he does feature back printing. There's a pretty good look at that. And yeah, Jar Jar for once actually does feature a weapon. So pretty simple weapon, nothing special, not a new piece, just a decent weapon to go with Jar Jar, I suppose. Alright, now onto the actual Gungan sub itself. So, where to start? I guess we can start off with the main cockpit here. As you can see, the anchor hanging off the front here, it's pretty cool. Unfortunately, it does not serve any purpose as an anchor. Really, it can just swivel side to side, and that's about it for the features there. You get some nice light, or translucent light orange slopes there, 1x1 slopes. And the cockpit pieces, you get 3 of these awesome cockpit pieces. Sorry, that piece just came off with it. But here's a look at the cockpit piece. Very cool, definitely very useful for various different things, and you get 3 of these in the set, and it's pretty awesome. And that clips on to some basic clips right there. But anyway, as you can see, you can fit Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Jar Jar all in the cockpit very nicely. You would think, just like maybe like the Millennium Falcon, that these would be very compact in the set and barely able to fit, but actually they fit perfectly with no trouble whatsoever, and I think that's very awesome and very convenient to all customers. And as you can see, let me give you a look at how they are actually in there. Basically, Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan sit on those four studs, and as you can see, let me give you a rundown of the stickers of this set now that we're at it. There are about a good amount of stickers on this set. There are 2 stickers, one here and here, a sticker here, symmetrically on the other side, and then you have 3 stickers on this piece right here. So that is about it for the stickers, but anyway, back to what I was saying. Basically, you can take Qui-Gon, sit him right here, take Obi-Wan, and seat him right there. And then Jar Jar, he doesn't have a special seat for himself because Jar Jar is not loved. He's just a little peasant who just got his life saved from the boss Nass who was about to kill him. But anyway, as you can see, the back cockpits here also open, and inside reveals the hold on, what is this thing? Excuse me while I go look it up. So basically, this is what LEGO calls some sort of harpoon. It's basically just a 1x1 dark bluish gray brick with studs on 4 sides and basically orange cones attached on all available studs areas. Anyway, now like I was saying before, you can conveniently store all of their accessories in the cockpits, the 2 back cockpits. And here's an example right here. As you can see, a hook is sticking out just for Obi-Wan's lightsaber. And as you can see, you got a nice amount of room back there for maybe maybe something else you might have in your collection you'd like to drop in there. So that's pretty awesome. And then you can put that in there, put the harpoon in there, close that cockpit, and then over here is the next cockpit. And in here we have both their Jedi robes, and those can be basically, you just drop them in there and you can just close up the cockpit. They will not be creased or screwed up in any way, so that's really good. And let me pull those out, and as you can see right there, there is a hook just symmetrically like the other one, just for Qui-Gon's lightsaber. So again, it's really convenient, and I'm really glad that LEGO actually made it able so that you can store all of the accessories and not have anything laying around. But basically, you do actually have something laying around. Mrs. Amidala, who was kind of left behind, and she's now going to drown in the Gungan waters. Anyway, as you can see, there are 2 cargo crates on both sides, and inside they do feature some 1 boomer each. This is the the main weapon that the Gungans use, called the boomer, and basically you can drop that in the crate, put the lid over it, and put it in the little designated holster. And that is on the same exact side. Over here, there is the same exact crate with yet another boomer in there. And the boomer is basically just a translucent light blue cylinder. So, very cool, and I definitely love all the accessories in this set. But before we conclude the features, there is one last major feature of the set. And back here we have basically, I guess what you could call the engine. It consists of some pretty nice flex tubes. I believe that's what you call these, something like that along those lines. You can get a very nice translucent orange piece right there, and that looks really great and definitely defines it as an extraterrestrial Gungan-like engine. And then what's really cool is you can pull off the entire back of this set, and it is what they call an extra mini sub. And this thing, like I pointed out earlier, features 3 stickers, one here, here, and here. And the top does unfold, and there is an extra sticker in there, which I was actually unaware of before. But you cannot fit Queen Amidala in here, if I'm not mistaken. As you can see, she does not fit. I wish she did. It would be great if she wasn't lying around. But she's definitely an awesome figure, and I'm very grateful that LEGO included her. But you can, if you do have an extra minifigure, seat them right in there. Or if you want, you could take any of the 4 minifigures that are in here, or any of the 3 minifigures in here, and put them in there besides Amidala. So very cool mini sub. Definitely has a nice slick design to it, and is very simple. But as you can see, it does attach with these 2 clamps here, and then 2 hooks back in there. So very cool. And basically there are 2 little clamps on both sides of the little mini sub here, and they slide into those little slits symmetrically on both sides right there, and they fit in very nicely. Let me see if I can give you guys a decent enough angle so you can actually see it in action. Basically there's a little opening there, and then the little clamps slide right in just like that and hook into those hooks in the very, right here. But anyway, that about sums it up for the actual Gungan sub itself. I think I should probably give you a look at the bottom. Here's a look at the bottom of the Gungan sub, and actually that is not the last of the features. There are some flick fire missiles on the bottom. Man, LEGO, I just forget. You guys know me, I'm well known on my reviews for forgetting features, because LEGO just jam-packs their sets with features, but that's a good thing. As you can see, there are 2 flick fire missiles, which have light bluish gray. I'm too used to saying light bluish gray. They do have some trans light blue pieces on them, and let me give you an example of flicking them. Something like that. Yeah, there you go. Weak. Yeah, basically they slide right back into those little posts there. So they hook in very nicely, and you do get a ton of pieces here that just basically, if you want to, I wouldn't recommend it. Sliding it across a hard surface would be good, but I wouldn't slide it across concrete. Yeah, that would probably just ruin these little pieces to, you know, make it slide along a smooth surface very nicely. But I wouldn't necessarily lift this thing upside down so much, because as you just saw there, these little crates do fall out and have nothing to hold them back. So that's never a really good thing. But other than that, detail-wise, there is some nice sloping over here, along with a translucent light green stud on both sides. And other than that, that is it for the features of the Gungan sub. Definitely a very cool set. So let me go ahead and give you guys a look at the box and the instruction manual. So there are actually 2 instruction manuals. How, I will never know, but LEGO, they seem to really like to waste paper this summer line, because they've been including 2 booklets in a good majority of their sets. But anyway, the first book is basically, there's a look at the front page, and then you continue going to build the actual Gungan sub, and then you're left off here building one of the halves of the Gungan sub itself. And then you skip into the second page here, and you continue to build the other opposite half. And then there is a comic on the back of it here, but before we go into that, here is a look at the summer line sets. This is included with all the instruction manuals, and then a look at the summer figures. So there's a look at that there. And then over here is the comic. The comic is very cool. Let me go ahead and restrain the actual book here, since LEGO, they like to put the manuals in the box and they get all bent up, and then resulting in that. So anyway, here's a look at the comic. Very cool comic, nicely animated, and I think it has a very nice setting to it. So very cool set. So I guess if you want to, since Padme or Amidala has no point in this set, I guess you can pretend that Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan meet up with her at Naboo, because she obviously cannot fit in the Gungan sub. But anyway, there are the instruction manuals for this set. The box itself is actually relatively tall, and has a very nice artwork scene on the front there, along with all of the necessary specs of the set, traditionally on the top left corner. And then you have a list of all the minifigures that are included, and it says the new labels next to Amidala, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan, because Jar Jar is not new himself. But then over here, we do have the back, which has all the necessary features. And as you can see, you got a nice picture of Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Jar Jar arriving at Theed, and then you got some nice artwork toward the bottom, and basically just a really nice look to the back of the set. And they do showcase all the features that I have just shown you guys. So then there's a look at the actual size. The actual size section on the top of the set. And yeah, so there is a look at the box. I do apologize since the box is not able to fit entirely in the shot as it rocks back and forth obnoxiously. But you guys know I am going to upgrade my studio eventually. But anyway, let's go ahead and conclude this review. So this set is definitely awesome, but just like most of the summer sets, it is overpriced. This set does retail for $70 US, and it is definitely not worth it. It is, I guess, if you really want a Gungan sub and you never got the old Gungan sub, you want Amidala, and you want a new Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, I mean, I guess I would go for it. It's definitely a really cool set, but it's definitely pretty useless for mocks. It wouldn't serve a purpose unless you had a fish tank and decided to drop it in there with some fishing wire. But anyway, it's definitely a great set. It features a reasonable amount of stickers, and it has some awesome minifigures and some decent features for playability, I suppose. So I would definitely recommend this set, but if you're not a big fan of the price, then I wouldn't go for this set. I would pass and go for one of the better sets. But this set is definitely pretty cool, and I would recommend it. Anyway, that's about it, guys, and I will see you all in the next review. All right.
Bye.